What's up, guys? Another fantastic day. Um, Today's a tough one. Um, Went to work today and found out I got laid off. That's tough. I had word from the Lord a little while ago that my pastor would be going through a tough stretch. He never gave me an indication how long it would be, but I delivered that message to him when I received that. In our church, there's a pattern that when one family gets attacked, it is quite noticeable that several other families start having numerous attacks against themselves in a lot of different areas. It's not always the same thing. And when I got that message for my pastor, and I delivered it to him, I told him at that point, it was like a month and a half ago, month and a half ago. I told him that, like, all right, cool, because I know what's coming for me and my wife. I know it's probably going to come, so we're going to start batting down the hatches and saving our, building our emergency fund much bigger because I've seen this pattern way too many times. And lo and behold, month and a half later, month and a half later, here we are. So wasn't fired, but I was laid off. And I was at work today. I kind of heard the rumblings. I pretty much knew what was coming, and I prayed on. I said, Lord, I need your help here. I need some encouragement. And he said, hey, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. And I've had times in the past where he's given me reassuring words like that have come true. And every time it's come true. But it's still, I'm human, and I still have feelings and thoughts. And I said, hey, I was trying to do sort of a doubting Thomas situation here, which was like, I believe you. Please help my unbelief. I'm just mentally right now and emotionally, those things are trying to overwhelm my trust in you. And that's not a bad thing. I think God really appreciates it when we come to him and we say, hey, I'm being 100% honest. If I'm really mad at you, I'm just being honest with you. If I'm sad or upset about something, I'm just being completely honest with you. And I had to really go before him and say, look, I'm struggling right now with this news. This absolutely came out of the blue. And it looks like I'll be potentially laid off until, it's May right now, early May, until roughly October. So May, June, July, August, September, 5 months. That's rough. Very grateful that I have a backup plan, which is some construction work. And that same pastor that I got that word for, I'm going to go work for him. I called him. He's like, hey, I need all the help I can get. It is construction. It's outside. So when it rains, you don't work, you don't get paid. So I know our finances are going to be severely damaged and hurt. It's tough, man. The economy's tough, and I'm seeing it left and right in my area. There's a lot of manufacturing in my area where I live, and unfortunately, the company I work for. We build parts. We're a supplier for a much larger and a major corporation, and that corporation cut their production by 65% between now and the end of the year. Monday when I came into work, I heard, hey, they're cutting 30% of their numbers for the rest of the year. Okay, that's horrible, but we can manage that. And then this morning I came in and they said, no, they cut it 50%. Later on, I was told, no, they cut it 65% between now and the end of the year. I was like, wow. And that's hard to hear, because I know that the numbers we were putting out, again, with the parts that we were making, we were right where we needed to be prior to Monday. And then once I heard the news today, basically we have now enough numbers we have enough inventory where I worked at till the end of the year, which is 7 months away. So it's hard to hear that, man. It's hard to hear that you're getting laid off because you've done nothing, that you've done nothing wrong. And it is, it's hard to hear that, and that's why I told the Lord, I was like, look, I'm just coming before you. I feel a certain way. I'm not upset. I was extremely sad. Very sad. I was crying. I don't typically cry, but it was hard because I know, like, the people, some of those people won't come back. I might not even come back. I don't know if they'll call me back. I have no idea. Fortunately, I have the owner's phone number and I can text him and call him and ask, hey, do probably bug him once a week. Hey, do you got anything? I'm more than willing to be open here, but my emergency fund with my wife, it's only going to go so far. And my goal is to do some construction, some concrete work, building grain bins for local farmers. And then when that is up in October, then take 26 weeks of unemployment. And that would push me until roughly early to mid-April, which is crazy to think that's 11 months away. And I might not be back to my main job for that long. And then if nothing comes up by then my wife and I are looking at essentially selling our house and moving. Her and her family live roughly 3.5 to 4 hours south of where we live right now. And we would end up moving there just because I don't want to touch my emergency fund until my unemployment runs out. Roughly would be in I would probably see late March to early to mid-April, somewhere in that range. And that's tough, man. That is tough. I'm trying not to be doubting Thomas. Lord, I only believe you if I can put my finger in the wound. And it's like, no, I don't want to be that. So I guess this is more of my video diary. And I knew something like this was going to happen. When God gave me the word about my pastor and his family, I kind of knew. It was like, okay, I've seen this pattern again and again and again. When one family out there gets attacked at our church, generally you start to see numerous families getting attacked in many different ways. And a lot of time it's not their own doing. It really isn't. It's just like it comes out of the blue. And it's more like where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is stuck inside of the trying to get burned alive, and God comes in and says, I'm going to save you from the firing furnace, but I'm not going to stop you from going into it. And I'm not going to stop you from the persecution, and I'm not going to stop the heat from coming. But what I will do is I'll save you from it once you're in it. And right now I'm in it, the start of it. So that's tough. But I prayed when I left work. I prayed when I got home, and I said, Lord, I am struggling right now. I'm struggling with seeing the promise. I know in my brain and I know in my heart that this is temporary and short term. You have something for me. I know that, absolutely know that without a shadow of a doubt. But right now it is tough. I'm asking for you to please help me see what you see and to have patience with me and to please help my own belief. I want to believe, and I've seen you come through every single time. So I know it's coming. It's just right now, because I'm human and I have thoughts and feelings, I sometimes get stuck in the moment. But God has always been faithful. And I very much am hoping by this time tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to feel better. And I'm going to feel fantastic. And I'm going to feel energized. And I'm going to feel grateful that I have something short term to help me out. And hopefully, my main job, things will start to pick up there. But what I will say is this. Thank you, Jesus, for Dave Ramsey. I followed his program, my wife and I, and we got out of every single consumer debt we had. We do owe on the mortgage, but that's not a consumer debt. But thank you, Jesus, we don't have any debt at all. I have a fairly large emergency fund. We had $20,000 in the emergency fund. My wife had a little bit of dental work, so that number went down a little bit. We're at $17,000 right now. And we can roughly cut our expenses to live off of, if we have to, if I don't have work and no daycare, if I stay home and watch our daughter temporarily, we can live on about probably $1,800 a month. So that 17 grand will go quite a bit of ways, since my wife brings home about $2,500 a month. If we have to, I don't like putting her in that position, because I firmly believe as the man, I'm supposed to be the provider, the protector of the house. If she wants to work, awesome, but she shouldn't have to. But right now she's in a position where she's the only one carrying the family financially. And, if something happens to her job, that's yikes. That is scary to think about. I don't even want to go there. Granted, with unemployment, we could draw unemployment. We could live off of my unemployment, and we could stockpile hers into our emergency fund. Then once mine runs out, if I don't have work, we could start using hers and the emergency fund to live off of. I'd say we'd probably last, before everything ran out, we'd probably last maybe a year and a half. Living off of the unemployment and our emergency fund, what we have in it right now. But you never know. Crap comes up. Crap costs money. So, yeah, it's been rough. Today's not a day that I want to hold my head high, but what I will do is I'm going to hold it high, and I'm going to say thank you, Jesus, for today. Thank you, Jesus, for every blessing you've ever given me. I've always seen you come through in the tough times. As a matter of fact, when I was at work, um, I prayed on it, like I said, and his word to me was, and you'll have to forgive me if I already mentioned this, I don't remember, but his word to me was, he's like, hey, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. That's what he told me. I've had him do that to me before, and it always is true, but that doesn't mean that I don't have feelings and thoughts in the middle of it, and I'm in the middle of it right now. So bless you guys. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Tough times here, but thank you, Jesus, for the challenge. Thank you, Jesus, for the struggle. Thank you, Jesus, for everything you've given me, including the trials and the tribulations, because they build my character. Thank you, Jesus, for the hardship that's come along our way. And thank you, Jesus, for the struggles and the trials that I have to go through, and the fiery furnace I walk through, and the wilderness I'm going through. I'm very grateful for that. It teaches me to be patient and to persevere and to build my character and to build my faith in Him. And I'm very grateful for the challenge. As much as it hurts, as much as I feel sad about it, I am extremely grateful for that challenge. So bless you guys. I hope to hear from you. If you want to comment, maybe some words of encouragement or anything you've been through where you can relate, I would love to hear those comments or love to read those comments. Subscribe. I would love to have more subscribers to help build my faith and to obviously help you guys build your faith. I think if we can just build each other's faith, that's what the church is supposed to do. So bless you guys. I hope to talk to you later. Bye.